This is a video looking at solving quadratic equations for WJEC Intermediate Tier. Okay, so we're going to solve quadratic equations by factorizing, and sometimes you can be really lucky, and just like question 1 here, it's already been factorized for us. So we simply go on to the next stage, which is we say either our first bracket is equal to 0 or our second bracket is equal to 0. And if I rearrange x plus 5 equals 0, I end up with x equals minus 5, taking the 5 to the other side. And if I rearrange the second bracket, x minus 2 equals 0, then take the 2 over and it becomes x equals 2. Question 2, we've been asked to solve this equation. So what we're looking for is we are looking for two numbers that multiply to make plus 12, and the same two numbers have to add to make plus 7. And the two numbers we're looking for are a 3 and a 4. So we put those two numbers in our brackets, x plus 3, x plus 4 equals 0, and then we do the either or step. We say either x plus 3 equals 0, so x equals minus 3, or x plus 4 equals 0, and x equals minus 4 is our second answer. In our third question, solving x squared minus 11x plus 30 equals 0, it's the same principles. We're looking for two numbers that multiply to make 30, but this time they're going to add to make a negative 11. So the two numbers we're looking for, 5 times 6 makes 30, and 5 add 6 makes 11. But if they're going to add to give you minus 11, they're going to have to be both negatives. So it's x minus 5, x minus 6 are our two numbers. So then we go through the either or bit, so x minus 5 equals 0, so giving us an answer of x equals 5, or x minus 6 equals 0, giving us an answer of x equals 6. In question 4, we are looking for two numbers that multiply to give minus 4, and those same two numbers have to add to give plus 3. Now when the number at the end is a negative, that means we're looking for two different signs to multiply to give us a negative. So one of the numbers has to be plus, one has to be minus. Now the numbers that can give us 4 when we multiply are 4 times 1 and 2 times 2. We've got no chance of making a number 3 from a 2 and a 2, so it's got to be a combination of 4 and 1. And if we do 4 minus 1, that in fact gives us a positive 3. So our two numbers are x plus 4, x minus 1 in our brackets. And then when we go ahead and solve x plus 4 equals 0, this gives us an answer of x equals minus 4. And when we solve x minus 1 equals 0, it gives us an answer of x equals 1. The last one to look out for, these are tricky little customers. This is a quadratic that we've got to solve using the method known as the difference of two squares. Basically, you're looking for two terms, an x squared followed by a negative square number. And to get our two brackets on this occasion, what you do is you square root both of these terms. If I square root x, it's going to give x squared, it's going to give me x and x. And if I square root 49, it's going to give me 7 and 7. Now, we obviously want two numbers that multiply to make minus 49, so they're going to be two different signs. So in this method, you will always have two brackets that look very similar, but one will be a plus and one will be a minus. And then the final step is as before. We are going to say x plus 7 equals 0. So our first answer is x equals minus 7, or x minus 7 equals 0, and our second answer is x equals 7.